Hello, everybody, and welcome back to 5 Minute Crypto, the channel where we cover the most important crypto news in just 5 minutes. Back again with another crypto update. $500,000. Can you imagine it? Well, ARK's chief, Kathy Wood, thinks $500,000 per Bitcoin is going to be the appropriate price not too long from now. $500,000 Bitcoin believer Kathy Wood says our confidence in Ether has gone up dramatically. But that's for in just a second. Let's first watch this very peculiar video of Kathy Wood once more explaining to the public how $500,000 per Bitcoin is feasible. And I've explained to you guys before on this channel and every channel that I freaking know that I've ever been on, that $500,000 per Bitcoin is still low. But to hear it from such an individual, I guess it just hits a little bit different.
If we're right and companies continue to diversify their cash into something like Bitcoin, and institutional investors start allocating 5% of their funds towards, I'll just say Bitcoin for right now, because we did that, we framed it for Bitcoin, could be for other cryptos as well. We believe that the price will be tenfold of where it is today. So instead of 45,000, over 500,000.
If you could own Bitcoin,
Yeah, and that's
Ethereum.
once more basically the fun part at hand, I would say. She's explained that if institutional investors go on at the pace basically what they're doing right now, which she's expecting, well, most likely she's going to continue on in terms of price, right? I mean, there's a lot of logic behind it if you actually start thinking about it. The fact that Apple, for example, Amazon, all those guys have started dabbling into crypto piece by piece. I mean, they know about it. They know their way around. But they really haven't put much money into it, specifically nothing of their reserves. And if we look at all the polls that have been done, of which I have the statistics, but I don't have them open, you notice that about, I'm going to say 19 out of every 20, or again, in percentages, about 95% of the hedge fund investors thinks that they'll look into, or in real words, actually expand their exposure to crypto by a huge margin in the next 5 years. And that's because, well, none of them wants to be left behind. And what's your most logical step to go for, basically? Join, right? Because you don't want to be left behind. And how can you join? Well, by buying into this facade. And one of the easiest ones to go for, one of the most, I guess, just easiest ones to go for is just Bitcoin straight away. And so, I firmly believe that a lot of those guys will do that. A lot of them will try to build their own currency, but will have Bitcoin in kind of their holds still. I mean, even though Bitcoin is rather expensive right now, it's actually still rather okay efficient. What I mean with that is, right now, Bitcoin, $2 billion worth, can actually still be moved for about 78 cents, as an example. People often say, oh, Bitcoin is so slow or so expensive. Yes, but not that bad. I mean, I personally always compare it to Ethereum, where Ethereum is always worse. At least that's how I have viewed it. And here it says basically that the average Bitcoin fee is $267, and for Ethereum, it's about 700 to 70% higher at about $20. If you try to send some Ethereum around and you're not paying like at least $8, but let's say about $15 or so normally, you're having a good deal because it's freaking expensive and stupidly expensive. But whenever I send Bitcoin around, usually, I remember a long time ago on Exodus, for example, used to cost me sometimes $16, sometimes $20, sometimes $40 back in the bull run of 2017-18. But now if I want to send some Bitcoin around, very often it just costs me about $5 because I want to set the fee a little bit high. But if you want to, you can put it a little bit lower and it will be fine. But that's actually funny because this individual now also stated that 500K Bitcoin is going to happen, but they've also increased their faith in Ethereum. I would say if we really look at the numbers, right, Ethereum just gets more and more investors in it. And the fact that Ethereum is moving over to proof of stake from proof of work, so basically changing over from the phase. The fact that Ethereum has now become deflationary as well, a lot of things are looking good for Ethereum. And the fact, as I said before, that there's going to be more and more demand as the platform which Ethereum is just keeps increasing. So even though the fees are ridiculously stupid, a good part of that is going to be fixed in due time by moving to proof of stake. And the fact that it's because of the huge demand for Ethereum, that also makes the burden, I guess, less heavy. But point being, I believe firmly in $500,000 per Bitcoin not too long from now, within the next 5 years, but that's even already really long if you were to ask me. And the fact that Ethereum will only keep gaining over the next couple of years. It's going to be some dips, of course, but the progress for Ethereum is going to be insane if you were to ask me.